you ever wonder why your life has been so hard? Why betrayal, suffering, and isolation follow you like a shadow? It's not a coincidence. It's not bad luck. It's a divine process. Allah has been forging you in fire, stripping away everything that is weak, so only the warrior within remains. You weren't meant for an easy life. You were meant for a greater purpose. The trials, the pain, the rejection, it was all preparation. Because when the world is in chaos, when the darkness takes over, it is you who will stand. You who will lead. You who have been chosen. You feel it, don't you? That burning inside, that knowing that you were sent here for something bigger than yourself. And yet the journey has been brutal. People turned on you. Doors slammed in your face. Even your own family didn't understand you. But hear this, Allah never abandoned you. He was shaping you, testing you, strengthening you. Because only the strongest can carry the weight of this mission. And now your time is coming. The signs are everywhere. The shift is happening. The battle between truth and falsehood is reaching its peak. And those who have been through the fire are the ones who will rise. The world doesn't even know what's coming, but you do, because Allah already prepared you. Today we reveal 8 powerful lessons that prove why Allah put you through hell, to prepare you for saving the world. Listen closely, because this message was meant for you. Lesson 1. The hardest tests are for the strongest souls. If you are a chosen one, understand this. The most difficult tests are reserved for the strongest souls. Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear, but for those He has destined for greatness, the trials will be immense. Look at the lives of the prophets. Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, was betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a well, enslaved and imprisoned for years. Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, was cast into the river as a baby, raised in the house of his enemy, and later exiled into the desert alone. And our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, faced rejection, persecution, and loss of his closest loved ones. Why? Because Allah was preparing them for something beyond imagination. If your life has been filled with pain, betrayals, and struggles, it is not because you are cursed, it is because you are chosen. Every hardship you have endured was not meant to destroy you, but to strengthen you. Your patience in suffering, your endurance through hardship, and your ability to keep moving forward when everything seems against you. These are the qualities that make you a warrior of Allah. The fire you have walked through is the very thing that purified you, removing the weak parts, stripping away everything that was not meant for your destiny. It is through struggle that you grow. It is through pain that you develop wisdom. It is through hardship that your heart becomes unbreakable. And the truth is, only those who survive the storm can lead others through it. You were never meant for an easy life, because you were never meant for an ordinary purpose. Allah has tested you in ways most people could never endure, but that is because He knows what is inside you. And now you must know it too. Your tests are not punishments. They are proof that Allah is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. Hold on, endure, and trust in the process, because in the end, the strongest souls are the ones who rise. Lesson 2. Isolation is a sign of your calling. If you have found yourself alone, separated from the crowd, misunderstood by even those closest to you, know this. Your isolation is not a punishment. It is a sign of your calling. Allah removes chosen ones from the noise of the world so He can prepare them in silence. Look at the prophets. Before their missions began, they all experienced deep isolation. Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, was forced to flee into the desert alone for years before he was called to lead his people. Prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, was swallowed by the whale, left in absolute solitude so he could turn to Allah with full sincerity. Even our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, would retreat to the cave of Hira, distancing himself from the corruption of society until Allah sent down revelation. Isolation is not a sign of rejection. It is a sign that Allah is setting you apart for something greater. When people turn their backs on you, when friends betray you, when you no longer fit in with the world around you, it is because you were never meant to. Allah is cutting away distractions, removing people who cannot go where He is taking you, and protecting you from influences that could weaken your faith. It is in solitude that you find clarity. It is in silence that you hear the voice of your soul. It is in loneliness that Allah draws you closer to Him. The world may see isolation as suffering, but the chosen ones see it as transformation. This is where you are rebuilt, where your purpose is revealed, where your strength is forged. Do not fight the loneliness, embrace it. Because when Allah finally sends you back into the world, you will not return the same. You will return as a leader, a warrior, a guide for those still lost in the darkness. And when that day comes, you will realize that the isolation you once resented was the greatest blessing Allah could have ever given you. Lesson 3. Your pain is a gift to humanity. Every hardship you have endured, every wound that left a scar, and every tear that fell in silence, none of it was meaningless. Your pain was never just about you. It was always part of something bigger. Allah does not put His chosen ones through suffering without purpose. The trials you faced were not meant to destroy you, but to refine you, to awaken your soul, and to prepare you for a higher mission. The world is filled with people who are lost, broken, and searching for hope, and who can guide them better than someone who has walked through the fire and survived? Look at the prophets. Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, endured betrayal from his own family, was thrown into a well, sold into slavery, and imprisoned for years. Yet his pain became the very path that led him to power and wisdom. Prophet Ayub, peace be upon him, suffered devastating losses, yet his unwavering patience became a timeless lesson for humanity. Their suffering was not just a test, it was a preparation for something greater, and so is yours. Allah chose you to go through certain struggles so you could carry wisdom that cannot be learned from books, only through experience. Your pain has given you a heart that understands, eyes that see beyond the surface, and a soul that refuses to break. The betrayals, the heartbreak, the losses, each one carves strength into your spirit. You have been trained in ways most people will never understand, and soon you will realize why. There are people in this world who will need your story, your guidance, your light. Your survival will become someone else's inspiration. The strength you build in private will one day uplift those who are silently suffering. Your pain has transformed you into a source of healing. Never see your suffering as a curse. It was always a divine gift, a trust given by Allah to those strong enough to carry it. When you finally rise, you will not just rise for yourself, you will rise for the world, because your pain was never meant to break you. It was meant to make you a warrior of light. Lesson 4. You carry a light that darkness fears. There is something different about you, something powerful, something unexplainable. And that is why you have faced so much opposition in life. From a young age, you may have felt like an outsider, as if you did not belong. People may have envied you, tried to bring you down, or even hated you without reason. But understand this, it was never about you. It was about the light you carry. Allah has placed within you a divine spark, a presence that disturbs those who live in darkness. The forces of evil recognize your purpose before you do, which is why they have tried to break you, isolate you, and make you doubt yourself. The truth is, the stronger your light, the greater the resistance. Look at the prophets. Whenever they brought truth, they were attacked. Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, stood against the greatest tyrant of his time, Pharaoh, who tried to suppress his mission. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was mocked, threatened, and forced to leave his homeland because his light disrupted the power of those who thrived in corruption. If you feel like you have been under attack, it is because the darkness fears what you are becoming. But here is what the enemies of truth fail to understand. Light cannot be extinguished by darkness. No matter how much they try to silence you, you will rise. No matter how much they try to make you doubt yourself, Allah has already written your destiny. The jealousy, the betrayals, the hardships, they were all meant to make you forget who you are. But now it is time to remember. You were chosen for a reason. Your presence is not ordinary. Your soul was sent into this world with a mission. The more they try to dim your light, the brighter you must shine. Do not fear their hatred. Do not shrink yourself to make others comfortable, because Allah did not place you here to be hidden. He placed you here to be a beacon, a warrior, a guide. And no amount of darkness can ever put out the light that Allah has placed within you. Lesson 5. Rejection is Allah's protection. Every time you were left out, every door that was slammed in your face, every person who turned their back on you, it was never a loss, it was divine protection. Allah sees what you cannot see. He knows the hearts of people, their true intentions, and what their presence in your life would have done to your soul. The friendships that ended, the opportunities that slipped away, the love that was never returned. These were not punishments, they were redirections. How many times have you looked back and realized that what you once begged for would have destroyed you? Allah removed you from certain people and places because they were never meant to be part of your journey. The chosen ones often experience painful rejection because they are not meant to follow the crowd. They are meant to walk a higher path. Look at Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. His own brothers cast him away, sold him into slavery, and tried to erase him. But what they meant for harm, Allah used for his elevation. Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, was rejected from Pharaoh's palace, forced to flee into the wilderness. But it was in that solitude that Allah prepared him for his mission. Even our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was driven out of Mecca. But that rejection led to the rise of Islam in Medina. If you have been cast out, abandoned, or made to feel unworthy, do not grieve. Allah is saving you from something lesser because He has written something greater. The people who rejected you were not meant to walk with you into the future. He has planned for you. Do not chase what He has removed. Trust that He is guiding you towards something far better. The rejection that broke your heart today will be the very thing you thank Allah for tomorrow. Because when He takes something away, it is only because He is making space for something far beyond what you ever imagined. Lesson 6. You are being trained for leadership. Every hardship, every setback, and every painful lesson you have endured was never random. It was part of your divine training. Allah does not place leadership in the hands of the weak. He prepares His chosen ones through trials that build unshakable strength. If you have faced betrayal, it is because a leader must learn to stand alone. If you have endured poverty, it is because a leader must understand struggle. If you have been humiliated, it is because a leader must learn humility before being elevated. Look at Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, raised in Pharaoh's palace, then cast into exile, only to return as a leader of his people. Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, endured slavery and imprisonment before being placed in a position of power. Even Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was orphaned as a child, faced rejection, and was tested beyond limits before he was given the responsibility of leading an entire nation. Leadership in the eyes of Allah is not about status or titles. It is about the strength of the soul, the wisdom of experience, and the purity of the heart. Your struggles have not been for nothing. They have been molding you into someone who can carry the weight of responsibility, who can guide others with truth, and who can stand firm when the world wavers. The pain that once made you question everything will soon become the foundation of your wisdom. The rejection that made you feel unworthy will prove that you were always meant for something greater. Allah has been preparing you in ways you do not yet understand. You are not just surviving these hardships. You are being shaped, strengthened, and elevated. And when the time is right, when you have been fully prepared, you will step into the role that was always meant for you. Because the chosen ones are not born leaders. They are made through fire, hardship, and the unwavering hand of Allah guiding them every step of the way. Lesson 7. The enemy knows who you are. Before you even realize your own power, the enemy saw it. Before you understood your purpose, the forces of darkness recognized it. That is why, from a young age, you have faced opposition, jealousy, and attacks that seemed unprovoked. The trials you have endured were never random. They were calculated attempts to break you before you could rise into who Allah destined you to be. Shaitan does not waste his energy on those who pose no threat. He targets the chosen ones because he knows they are sent to be warriors of light, protectors of truth and destroyers of falsehood. Look at the prophets. Before Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, was even born, Pharaoh ordered the killing of all male infants because he feared the prophecy of a great leader rising against him. Before Prophet Isa, peace be upon him, could spread his message, the corrupt ones conspired to destroy him. Even Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was opposed, slandered, and attacked long before he gained power, because his enemies sensed that he was a force that could not be stopped. And the same applies to you. The betrayals, the rejections, the endless obstacles, they were never coincidences. They were signs that the enemy saw something in you, something powerful, something dangerous to their plans. They wanted to make you doubt yourself, to weaken your faith, to make you believe you were worthless. But here's the truth. The fact that they fought so hard to stop you is proof that you are meant for something great. The chosen ones are always tested the hardest because their destiny is the highest. So now it is time to wake up. You are not weak, you are not forgotten, and you are not lost. You were chosen by Allah, and no amount of opposition can change that. The enemy knew who you were before you did, but now you must step into that truth and become the warrior you were always meant to be. Lesson 8. You were born to change the world. You are not here by accident. You are not ordinary. You were placed on this earth with a mission that only you can fulfill. From the moment you were born, Allah has been guiding you, shaping you, and preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. The struggles, the pain, the rejection, it was all part of your training, because the world does not change through comfort. It changes through those who have been broken and rebuilt by Allah's wisdom. Look at the chosen ones before you. Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, stood alone against an entire nation of idol worshippers. Yet his faith transformed generations. Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, was once a fugitive, yet he led his people to freedom. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was persecuted, driven out, and attacked. Yet his message spread across the world, changing history forever. They were not born into ease. They were made through trials just like you. The chosen ones are not meant to blend in. They are meant to stand out. They are meant to challenge falsehood, expose injustice, and guide humanity back to the truth. That is why your journey has been different. That is why you have faced hardships most people could never endure. Because Allah does not send ordinary souls to do extraordinary work. He sends those who have been purified through fire, those who have learned patience through suffering, and those who have been humbled through struggle. Your time is coming. The world needs your wisdom, your strength, and your light. You were not created to live in fear or doubt. You were created to rise. Step into your calling. Walk the path Allah has set for you. Because the moment you accept who you truly are, the moment you surrender fully to Allah's plan, is the moment the world will begin to change through you. Chosen one, if you've made it this far, understand this. You are not here by chance. Every hardship, every tear, every battle you fought in silence was shaping you for something far greater than you can imagine. The signs have been there all along. The world has tried to break you. The enemy has tried to silence you, but you are still here. And that means Allah is not done with you yet. You were not created to live in fear, to shrink yourself, or to doubt your worth. You were created to rise, to lead, to shine so brightly that darkness trembles at your presence. Do not let the pain of your past make you forget the power of your future. Allah has already written your story, and victory is in your destiny. It is time to step into who you truly are. No more hiding. No more doubting. The world is waiting for you. Your journey is just beginning. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, you are chosen for a reason. Now go and fulfill your purpose.